So we spend that. I see where he's gonna need help with. So I believe the test is either tomorrow or something. So when he comes home, the thing that I did with him over the weekend that I saw him have issues with, it had to do with the math. I will work more with him. I think he understands it. Maybe I was not explaining it correctly to him. So we need to work on that. And another thing, I need to work with him, both of my kids. This school, I don't know if it's a new thing, because when they ask a question and then on the answer, there's multiple choices. When I was in school, there's usually one of the answers. So for some reason, this school, or maybe it's a new thing, they have more than 2 correct answers on the answer and the multiple choices. So I need to work with them to make sure they look at every single answers on the multiple choices to pick the ones that are correct. Because my youngest have got point taken away because he only chose 1 out of 2 correct answers, and my oldest, his last test, he got -2 because he picked 1 out of 3 correct answers. I wasn't upset too much. I sort of explained to him that he needs to look at all of the answers, the multiple choices, but I'm a bit upset at the school for doing that. If you want to make sure the kids understand each of the, I guess, answers, create a question for each of these, not 3 all at once. And then he had a 95, I believe, yeah, a 95 on the test, but he could have a higher grade on that because of this silly thing. So that's something I need to talk to the teacher about. I'm not sure if the teacher make up the questions or if it's something that's sort of standardized, where she just have, she teach the curriculum and then the school give her the questions, the test to give to the student. So I'm not sure how that played out because my kindergartner has the same issues. So I need to talk to the teachers about that. And it's one of those. It's not that I'm too upset. It's just, it is the point that they are losing for not picking all of them. I don't know. Maybe it's a way for them to follow directions, and I don't know. But I'm kind of neutral with this type of things. With 3 correct answer on the answer sheet. So that's that. So I'm gonna do as much work as possible before I believe I'm leaving here at 11:30ish. I could even leave here at 12. I could leave here at 12. I don't know the train schedule. I don't want to drive where I have to worry about the parking. My husband just got a parking over there. So my husband learned about the parking issue after his car got towed about 2 weeks ago for not listening to me. So downstairs they have to clean everywhere they have to clean the street each side at a different days. So what happened is that almost people who included, because there's a school right near my house, so the teachers will need they need to get the correct side parking. So when the cleaner is driving by cleaning the street, you see all the cars making U-turns to get the spot right behind as the cleaner truck is driving by. It was kind of funny, and people were screaming at each other. They black. Anyway, this is why I don't like having cars. And we used to keep the car at my mother-in-law's house in New York during the week, so we don't have to deal with that. But we sort of switched that a little bit. I mean, we could always bring it whenever we have issues over here. So yeah, but anyway, let me get back to work and have to do a lot of stuff today. Actually, the kids have today, and I better remember that it's today and tomorrow they have half a day. So what I did for today is that I schedule to meet with the teachers today to get that out of the way. I could have scheduled one today and one tomorrow, so because they have parents-teacher conference 2 days. Today they have half a day and tomorrow they have another half a day. So because I make my mind, I set to go today, so to get both of them out of the way, and they have tests coming up. I don't want to be dealing with talking to the teachers and sort of cut my schedules in half for 2 days. So I try to get that out of the way today. And tomorrow I could go to the gym, and I told them I might pick them up tomorrow also because they have tests. So when they wait for the bus due to traffic, sometimes they come home. Let's say there's a half a day. Sometimes it's at 1:30, sometimes it's at 12:30. So today and tomorrow is 12:30. And sometimes they come during half a day like that. They come like 2 o'clock. And it hurts me when I see them, because I remember when I was in school, I don't want to be at school that long, especially on a half a day, which somewhat equals to a full day, just being stuck in traffic on the bus. So I might pick them up tomorrow because I need them to study. I don't want to wait with them all night to study. So yeah, today is mandatory for me to pick them up. Tomorrow I don't really have to pick them up, but I think I will, to spend more time with them to study. And tomorrow I'll go to the gym also to work out, and after my workout come home and go take a shower and then go pick them up. So that's the plan. Let me get going. Okay, right now it is, what time is it? 11:26. So I'm starting to get myself ready to go get the, oh, there's a bigger I'm getting myself ready to go pick up the kids. So I did sort of clean up a little bit. This what is it, the AC needs to go to storage. I cleaned up the books that were there. I then give them away, but I just cleaned them off a little bit. And this is the little castle. So what I'm doing right now is that I'm gonna bring them a little candy, because I'm not gonna give it to them right after school while I'm talking to the teacher. I'll give it to them when I'm on the train coming back, because I don't want them to start jumping. Where is the candy? A lollipop. I think they wanted lollipop. So I'm gonna bring them a little lollipop. Alright, they almost finished all of their lollipops. I had to search really hard for these. Yeah, so while I'm on the train, I'll give them one of each, or whatever they choose. And I wasn't gonna carry stuff, but it seemed like it might rain. I might need to bring my backpack to put, there I am. Bring my backpack to carry umbrella, and I need a water, because I'm probably gonna be sitting for a little while to before I meet the first teacher. I believe it's at 1:30, either 1 or 1:30, and then the other teacher is at right after 1:45 or something like that. So I need to bring water for me. The kids, they have lunch. I don't know if I should bring orange juice for them while they're waiting. And I'm gonna sit in the lobby and start doing homework with them while I'm waiting. So I'm not gonna be wasting time just sitting and wait. 11:30. So, and their school ends at 12:30 today. So let me get stuff. I don't want to carry too many stuff. The water I know I need. The umbrella I'm gonna need, because it looks like it's gonna rain. It's cloudy outside. Alright, let me get myself situated. It's literally 12 o'clock. I need to get out of here. And I was like, let me just do this quick. Gonna go right now. 12 o'clock. Okay. Huh? Alright, don't wet your clothes. Go.
The water fountain.
Alright, so go, don't wet your clothes.
10, 12, 14.
When I'm talking to Michael's teacher, I don't want you to talk, okay? Do you hear me? Thank you, Michael. That hole, that stairs smell very damp.
This door?
Wait, let me
Don't get in.
come this way.
And technology.
Oh yeah, the technology room is here. So you think the teacher's gonna say a nice thing about you?
Mommy, PE is almost like gym.
We talked about that this morning.
No,
What did-
yesterday morning.
What did PE stand for? Nope, it doesn't make the P sound. It's a tricky one.
P,
It make a F.
C,
Uh-huh. Physical.
physical education.
Yes. All right.
Alright, I'm gonna do what you say.
Get your stuff. You guys did half of your homework already, so that's good. I need to study quick.
I timed myself.
Okay. You did half of your homework, Michael. You probably have maybe 2 questions on the math left.
Yeah.
So we'll look at it.
Half of it.
All right. So pretty much, Michael, everything that I've been telling you, your teacher tells me the same thing. All right? Right. Okay. Writing using complete sentence, response, and E. Your complete sentence. We're getting better with your writing your complete sentences. And also, when they give you a vocabulary word and they said to make sentences out of them, the reason they want you to do that is to see if you understand it and if you could write a complete sentence. Understand? If you focus just that time when they give it to you, you try your very best at that particular time, and then you're done with it. If you're being lazy with it, guess what's gonna happen?
Bad grade.
Not only bad grade, you have to go back and fix it and do it over. So that one time, usually the things you don't like, that's the one you focus the hardest to make sure you do it the first time and done with it. Understand? You're getting better, but you need to learn that to focus on doing your best the first time around. And I'm proud of you too, because your grade is improving, your writing is improving.
Yes, everything's improving.
Yeah, but we need to get better. And listen, when the teacher is reading instruction during a test, pay very close attention. Who's this?
That's Mr. B.
Don't do that so you don't mess this thing up.
Sorry.
You need to pay attention when she's reading instruction. Sometimes within that instruction, there's clues to the test. When they say choose all, that is possible. That means on each answers, each question, check all of the things that you know is correct.
Wait, remember the promise you did?
What promise?
If I get good grades on tests, Daddy gets to give me my own video game.
Oh, I don't know. That's probably for Christmas.
You said so.
Probably. I don't know. We'll talk to Daddy about that. All right. Let's finish the homework. I think you have 1 or 2 questions left.
Yep.
And then we need to focus on the thing. And you, Mark, over here. You see those sight words that I gave you? I don't want to record myself while talking to your teacher. I don't think it's appropriate. They want you, when you draw a picture, to label it. There's a lot of sight words. I've been telling you, these. Right here. It fell on the floor. But it's pretty much the same thing as these. You need to know them when they tell you to draw a picture and label. Okay? Label mean, listen, is to put a note. Let's say you draw something. If this is a boy, you need to say boy. If this is a girl, you need to write the word girl under each pictures. Okay?
Okay.
Use words that the teacher have used in the classroom. And she said the words are all over the classroom. So if you don't know how to spell it, you look for the word. Okay? And whose clothes is that? That's your clothes, Mark. Go put it where it's supposed to be.
And
yes, and your undershirt.
is gonna help my.
All right, Michael, bring your homework so we could focus on that. Get it out the way, and we'll focus on the thing.
And me.
Okay, I'm hungry.
Pick up the pillows.
Later, we're gonna have rice and fish. Okay, we need to finish the fish
Yay!
later. All right.
For each step.
And then we have to practice some spelling, writing sentences. Okay, Mark?
Okay.
That's what the teacher is working on with you.
I have this one left and that one left.
These two. Okay, read it and then I'll... Ooh, my salad.
Ooh, salad!
Okay, product mean multiplication. I could look it up to make sure what I'm saying is correct. So 2 times, go ahead. Please put it. Okay, we don't know this number. Okay, I am a product. Okay, with a multiplication. One of my factor is 2. That's 2 right here. The other factor, which is a number, is 1 greater than 4. What's 1 greater than 4?
1 greater. It's 5.
Okay, so 2 times 5 is equal to what? Please write neatly. When you write slightly,
10.
Okay, so 2 times 5 is 10. That's what it's telling you. So I'll look for these words for you. Okay, when they say product mean multiply. When they say of mean multiply also. Factors, numbers, okay, means numbers, is 2, okay. My number is 2, okay, that's what they mean. The other factor, the other number, is 1 greater than 4. What's 1 greater than 4?
5.
5. So if the factor is 2 and then the factor that is greater than 4 is 5, so it's 2 multiplied by 5 is what's 1? Okay, so you have, these are the clues you need to understand. What else did you have? The last one. Okay,
I am a number that, wait, I think I just didn't finish it. I am a number that is double the product.
what did I say product is?
You said multiply.
Okay, go ahead, read it and then go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, 2 and 7. One of my factors is 7. What is my other factor?
Okay, I am a number. Okay, so that's what you have to figure out. They tell you there's a number. Okay, you have to figure out. I am a number that is double the product of 2 and 7. What's product mean? What's product mean? Multiply. So what do?
You multiply 2 and 7.
Okay, what is it? 2 times 7. Put it here. Write small. Because your teacher wants to see.
14.
All right, so write it here. 2 times 4. 2 times 7 is 14. Okay? But that's still not the answer, okay? Okay, I am a number that is double the product of 2 and 7. What double the product of? What double mean?
Like, it's like 2 of them.
Okay, so I am a number that is double the product of 2 and 7. So it's 2 times 7. You double that answer. What's double?
So 14 plus 14.
Which
equals. So I'm gonna put 14 down here.
Put it next to it. Put times 2 again. Double. Double means 2. Times 2 is equal. And you just did a few minutes ago.
14, 16, 18.
No, Michael. 2 times 14. You have 14's 2 times. Be quiet, Mark. No, I'll come back.
108.
Oh, Michael. 14 plus 14. Or 14 times 2. Do this here. You already have the 14 underneath.
Jesus.
1 plus 1. Okay, so 14 times 2 is what?
28.
So put 28. Okay, and my factor is 7. What is my other factor? All right. One of my factor is 7. What is my other factor? So, still not done. You double it. Your product of this is 28. So, And you don't know about division. Shoot. Michael, please. Mark, come here. Come, Mark. While I'm working with Michael and I'm eating too, I want you to copy this. Read that for me.
I-M-A.
B-O-Y means boy.
Boy.
Okay, because your teacher wants you to start writing little sentences. Okay. I am is one of your words, right?
Mm-hmm.
A, you should know. And boy, I don't know if this is one of your things. Okay? Read.
I have a ball.
Good.
I
Like, that's one of your words.
like to.
Okay, forget about this. I was going to write something. Forget about this, okay?
Okay.
Was S-I-T.
Sit.
Okay? So you're going to copy this. Alright? All this. You're going to start here. Go. What's wrong with you?
I didn't see it.
Bring your thing. Let me see.
Okay, good.
Please don't tie this around your neck. What is wrong with you?
You could choke. And die.
Please don't put the rope around your neck.
I wanted to avoid a long ride to work. He wanted to enjoy his job.
Alright, Mark. I see it on your and some of the things your teacher showed. Come here. Your S, you're writing them backward. Look how my S is facing. See, the half circle is facing this way, the first top, and then the other one face this way. Go fix this. And I put lowercase t. Okay, can write the sentence again. I like to sit and write it neatly. Okay, I don't like the S. When I'm done, we'll do some math. What
What were you gonna tell Mar?
Okay, I'll accept it, but you leave a huge space. See, the S look like it's by itself, and IT look like a word by itself. Okay, you need to learn to script. That's not what I said though.
Toy. No.
I said I like to sit. So I like should be together, close up. You see, there's a space here. It looks like L-I and then K-E. Okay, down here, write it over, please. Nicely. Take your time. All right, let's see, Michael. Yeah,
Sit.
much better. Much better, but you didn't put your period. It's okay. You could put the period, and then when I'm ready to do the math with you, I'll work with you, okay? So far, so good.
And Tina be's nice to Mrs. Green by saying sorry.
Okay. Through the course of the story, Tina changes. How do her action, when they say her, who are they talking about? Tina's action. And their consequences contribute.
And that's
to
when
this.
I added her in because it said there.
So how did her action change? Her action changed. First, okay. First, let's talk about her action. How did her action change? When they say her, we say, who are they talking about?
Tina.
Okay. Her action, or you could say Tina's action changed by, what did she do that made her change? What action did she do? What did she do that she changed her action change?
It was.
She did something.
She did. It's that Mrs. Green wanted to teach her how to make cookies.
Okay, that's another action. That's Mrs. Green. They're asking you two questions. There's two parts to this, okay? They say here, through the course of the story, Tina changed. Okay? She changed. Was it for the better or for the worse?
Better.
For the better. Now, how do her action change? Before we get to there, before we get to the part where they said there, let's focus on her, which is Tina. How did her action change? What did she do first that make her change? You understand the story.
She didn't hi Mrs. Green. She didn't be mean to Mrs. Green anymore.
Okay. She did something, and then she did something to fix her action. Okay. Let me read it out loud for you. This is where she started acting up because she didn't like it. Tina decided that she would behave so badly that Mrs. Green wouldn't want to babysit her anymore. Tina spilled her juice on the sofa. She refused to do her homework when Mrs. Green said, Tina, see, there's the quotation mark here. You need to pay attention to this. When Mrs. Green said, Tina, will you help me with your brother for a moment? Okay, who said that?
Mrs. Green.
Mrs. Green. Tina said, I will not. Who said I will not?
Tina.
Okay, so you see the quotation? That's very important. And went out into the yard, slammed the back door behind her. Now, who's saying that?
Narrator.
Very good. See, the narrators giving you the sense of direction, okay? That afternoon, Mrs. Green spoke to Tina's mother for about 15 minutes before she left. When Mrs. Green was gone, Tina expected her mother to fuss at her. What does that word fuss mean? To fuss.
Be mad.
To be mad at her. Very good. Instead, her mother just said, well, time to make dinner. Who said, well, time to make dinner?
Mother.
Okay. And went into the kitchen. Who said that? And went to the kitchen. Nope. And went to the kitchen.
Oh, that's narrator.
Very good. Very good. Tina stared after her. Didn't Mrs. Green quit? Didn't she at least tell Tina's mother all the awful thing that Tina had done? Who sang that now?
Narrator.
Very good.
Mommy?
Mark, please, let me do this with Mark. What's wrong?
You need to do math.
Yes, and I'm also working with Michael, okay? The next day, Tina spilled her juice on Mrs. Green. She fussed to help the baby. And she hid Mrs. Green glasses so she wasn't able to read her magazine. Again, though by evening, nothing had changed. So all this, what's happening in this paragraph?
That she's saying that that's what.
That's Tina's behavior. Explain to me.
That she's trying to not help Mrs. Green because she's not playing with her or anything.
Why is she being bad?
Because Mrs. Green is not making her a cookie.
Because no, that's not the point. Why she's behaving so badly? Where she she spilled juice on Mrs. Green. She refused to help her with the baby, and she hid Mrs. Green's glasses. What did she do? Why did she do all of that?
Because she's no fun.
Who's no fun?
Mrs. Green.
Mrs. Green. But why Tina find her no fun?
She's not, because Mrs. Green is not playing with her.
I'll come back to this paragraph. Remember at the beginning, Tina. I didn't read it. I didn't record it, but I read it to you. Tina and her brother and sister had a new babysitter. Mrs. Green was nothing like her old babysitter. Mrs. Green was old and big and grumpy. She didn't like to play games. She didn't like to sing. She never baked cookies. I don't like Mrs. Green. Who? Tina told her mother. Who said that? Tina. I don't like Mrs. Green. Tina. Right? So, that other paragraph I read already. Why is she doing all those bad things? Why is Tina spilled juice on Mrs. Green? She refused to help Mrs. Green with the baby. She hid Mrs. Green glasses. Why?
Mrs. Green was nothing like her old babysitter.
This is the main thing. Main thing. I don't like Mrs. Green. She didn't like her. That's it.
You told me to tell me why she doesn't like her.
No, Did I say that? Oh, I don't think I said that.
You
Okay. I believe I said why what she was doing all of those bad
said
things.
that first, but once I was getting it wrong so much times, you told me to tell her. You told me why.
I don't think I would. If I'm looking for you to tell me she didn't like her, I don't think I will say.
You did.
Okay. If I did, I'm sorry. I will. When I'm looking at this, I'll find out. Okay. Basically, she didn't like Mrs. Green. Okay. So she did a lot of bad things. So you need to remember that. On the third day, Tina didn't even bother being mean to Mrs. Green. She mopped around, wishing she had someone to play games with or someone to bake her cookies. Well, I see someone had decided to accept me after all, Mrs. Green said to Tina. What did Mrs. Green realize now?
That Tina did all the bad stuff?
Listen. Well, I see someone has decided to accept me after all.
To accept Mrs. Green.
So she's starting to like Mrs. Green. That's what Mrs. Green's starting to realize on the third day. Okay? Tina stared at her wide-eyed. You knew? Okay? Who said who knew?
Tina.
Tina said that. You knew I didn't like you? Pretty much that's what she's saying. Remember that sentence up here? I don't like Mrs. Green. And who did she say that to? I don't like
Mom.
She told her mother. And now Mrs. Green is telling her, oh, you accept me after all. And now Tina's saying, do you think what was one of the words in the other sentence?
So that's probably what her mom told Mrs. Green, that because Tina told her mom that she doesn't like her.
Okay.
So she told Mrs. Green, probably, I think.
Was it Tina wondered why Mrs. Green then cricked? Tina and Mrs. Green glasses. Okay. All right. So this is the word. She was shocked. Okay. F is here. Make sure. She was shocked. Okay. That Mrs. Green knew. Okay. All right. Where is it? Okay. Tina asked. I've been around children all my life, Mrs. Green said. And do you know what I see when I look at you? Tina shook her head and blushed. Based on how she had been acting, she could only imagine what Mrs. Green must see when she looked at her. But what Mrs. Green said next surprised her. I see a girl who has grown up quite a bit, but who doesn't realize it because no one around her is treating her like it. I see a girl who is old enough to initiate games with her brothers. What does initiate mean?
Play? Like
No, game meaning, it's part of playing, but initiate.
I don't know.
She started playing with her brother without anybody telling her to do it. She initiated. Okay, she see that her brother might need to play, so she decided to play with her brother without anybody telling her, go do it. Okay? I see a girl who is old enough to initiate games with her brothers instead of expecting the babysitter to entertain her. So Tina was expecting the babysitter to keep her busy, to make her do things. Instead, so the babysitter said, I see you start doing things on your own. Okay? Where is it? To entertain her. I see a girl who likes to learn how to bake her own cookies. I could teach you, said Mrs. Green said, if you would like me to. Yes, please, Tina said. She and Mrs. Green smiled at each other. Suddenly, Tina felt very happy, except for one thing. Mrs. Green, Tina said quietly, I'm sorry I did all those mean things to you to try to make you go away. So basically, all the mean things she was doing is why did she was behaving bad?
To make her go away.
To make her go away. Thank you, Tina, Mrs. Green said. Now, what's your favorite kind of cookies? All right, so we sort of have an idea here. All right? Now that you read it to yourself, I read it to you, and I read it. All right, this question said, through the course of the story, Tina changed. Okay, from the beginning, how did Tina felt about the babysitter?
Mad.
What's the word I'm looking for? I went back to the very first paragraph. How did Tina felt about the babysitter? What did she tell her mother about the babysitter?
She didn't like her.
She didn't like her. Okay. So what did she do to show that she didn't like her?
She did bad things.
She did bad things.
Sir.
Okay. Now. So they're saying she changed, right? From the beginning, she said she didn't like her, and in the end, how did that change? What's the opposite of
Mrs. Green was telling good things about her.
She changed. She liked Mrs. Green now. They didn't surely say she liked her, but she changed. Okay? Please stop moving on. Through the course of the story, Tina changes. How do her action and their consequences contribute to this change? So what did Tina do? What action did she do? How do her action contribute to this change? What did she do to make the change? What did Tina do? I'm asking you. You said here, their action, and then this is, Michael, I really don't like when a word is actually there, and then you're spelling it wrong. There, it means place. This there, T-H-E-I-R, meaning people. Okay? Their action, this one is the wrong there. Action changed by Mrs. Green. Okay, let's focus one at a time. How did Tina's action change? From here, listen. Michael, you focus on all these, okay? I write the number here. You're going to circle all set. There might be more than one, okay?
All set of 6.
Yes. And here you're going to circle all set.
8.
And you're going to circle all set that shows
4.
Okay? And then you're going to count. And here you're going to count how many, and then you write the number. You look at this, you put your answer here. You look at this, you count it, you put it here. You count it, you put it here. You count it, put it here.
Count it, put it there. Count it, put it there.
And now you're going to match these. Okay? So I put each one in a square. You count it, and you look for the number under here, and you match it. Get it?
Get it.
Go. I'm not going to help you. You have... Here, use this.
And Mommy close my...
No, don't use pen, because you might need to erase. Go.
I want you to close